Hey guys, so pardon the rain, we're hanging out here in the Bronx today, New York City. Just wanted to talk about generational doom and how, I just watched a video from Dr. Phil who has been blowing me away. Like, I remember Dr. Phil when I was like 12 years old, I thought he was annoying as hell. But as an adult, and like, I feel like he's kind of changed his, maybe like the content he's doing, and the content he's doing right now is just like on point. I feel like he's doing a good job kind of bridging the gap between the older generations and kind of showing what the newer generations are going through, and also right ultimately showing the current state of the world. And this video I just watched was a Gen Z man, which sounds crazy because Gen Z is like they're adults now. um, he's basically breaking down in his car and talking about the modern day struggle of like, him trying to afford things, trying to, afford rent, work a decent job, and just have a normal, like that normal life that we all kind of took for granted, especially like in the 90s and stuff. And listening to this guy, it's like his struggles is exactly the same struggles. Well, I'm not going to say exactly because I don't want people to tear me up in the comments, because it's the same struggles but worse. I'll say that right now. What Gen Z is experiencing is the same struggles that I experienced 10 years ago when I graduated college as a millennial, except it's a worse situation. It is like such a weird situation. I think first is the employment situation. I graduated college 10 years ago, 2014. Think about how many people have graduated from college in those last 10 years. Probably talking millions. I'm curious what the figure is. I'd look it up, but that's my phone right there recording. So, and it's not like we've lost a huge swath of population who was like college educated, right? Like, the people who died off in the last 10 years were probably a lot older. So the amount of people in our population with these college degrees has just only blown up. But in the last 10 years, the amount of jobs, for sure, without a doubt, has dropped significantly. With AI, with employment costs, with taxes, the employment world right now and like looking for a job is pathetic. And I've never seen so many just blatant fake job postings. I can't even imagine, whether you're Gen Z, millennial, whoever you are, going online and looking for a job. I feel for you. That sucks. So yeah, the employment's gotten worse. The affordability, ultimately, because of your employment's worse, the affordability is going to be worse. Rent has only become even more unaffordable, especially since I was graduated college. I mean, that it still was that situation. Like when I graduated college, even with like a decent part-time job where I was making twice as much minimum wage, it was like $7, and we'll say maybe it was $8 by the time I graduated. So I was making like $15 an hour at this library job, which was decent, but I couldn't even afford rent. Like that was nowhere near enough back then to afford rent. Again, today's situation is only worse. It's like you could be making 50 grand and you'll be paying $1,500, $1,700 a month in rent, like just for a single apartment. That's just crazy. It's crazy. It's a large portion of your income. So yeah, if the housing's gotten worse, affordability, I mean, the food costs got worse. When I was a millennial, or I'm still a millennial, but when I graduated college, you could like eat well on a serious budget. Like you could really budget, and if you were careful, if you didn't buy all the snacks and cookies and garbage like that, you could eat well for cheap, for like pennies a day. I just bought a $5 carton of eggs. I mean, I'm in New York City today, so I get it. Eggs is going to be expensive, but still, $5 for a carton, and we ate half of it, and that's not even half the ingredients. So we used like a green pepper. Green peppers are expensive. It's like just to make this little breakfast for like 2 people, it was like maybe $10 in like raw ingredients. which is just like, it's probably less than that. Let's say like $5 in raw ingredients, but you eat 3 times a day. That's like $15 a day at least, and we even put chicken in there. So it's just crazy. If you actually break down the raw ingredients it costs to like make a meal, like we went from costing like pennies and dollars to like, it's like 10, $15 a day. That adds up quick, guys. Like that's gonna add up really quick. So again, similar struggles, but holy crap, they've only gotten worse. And I'm curious with Gen X. I wish like Gen X could jump. I want them to jump into the conversation, because I want to hear like, what did Gen X struggle with? Like, what was your generational doom? And was it like affordability things? Was it more cultural? Like what did Gen X deal with? Or has it just been progressively getting worse? Has housing always been an issue? Has affording food sort of always been an issue? But today, I mean, there's just no way. I mean, talking about food affordability is just crazy. So anyways, I guess I just wanted to talk about that. It was just making me think about like, this is weird. Like really nothing has changed for the better. It's just gotten worse. Now, granted, you know, my channel, yes, Brandon the Doomer, Brandoomer. The first half of this video was all about doom. Shit sucks. But there is a path forwards, guys. Your network right now has never been more important, okay? Having a solid network and having skills that you can offer somebody, something that you're passionate about, or something that you know is valuable and provides people with, you know, helps them on their path to make money. Whether that's website design, marketing, creating a sales funnel for somebody. Maybe it's you're good at landscaping. Maybe you have tools that you can use to build things. You need to have that skill set, and then you need to have that network so that people know, hey, if you need this done, call this guy. I know this guy, he can do these things. That's how I get those oil tank sweep gigs. You know, I have a skill that isn't very common, and people know. I've been in the business, I've been out in the real estate world long enough. People recognize me. I could show up to an event I've never been to, and I might know a handful of people there. Once you've gotten to that level, people know, hey, if you need an oil tank sweep done, or if you need this or you need that, call Brandon. He's you know. So if everybody can kind of work on their network, I think that's going to be key. Because if you're going to go on Indeed right now and like apply to these fake job postings and you're getting no response, I mean, it's not working. And it's not your fault, guys. Like, it's not anybody's fault. It's just you really have to get in this digital world. I think it's better and more advantageous to know real people. You know, some digital connections can help. You know, it does help widen your reach. But I would encourage everybody to start in their own backyard. Start in your own backyard. Meet the people who are moving and shaking in your neighborhood, and see if there's anything you can offer them. See if there's any skills that you have that might reinforce them, right? The goal is everybody wants to make money, but when you don't have money and you're trying to get that connection to people who have money, you really need to provide them value, okay? There's people out here with money. They call me all the time. They break little pieces off for me. I'm not saying like they're giving me big chunks of money, but you know, that's providing value to people with money is how I extract money from them, okay? So that's my advice. I mean, I know, like, guys, it sucks. Like, stuff's expensive. Jobs suck. I mean, but let's hope, you know, when maybe with the change, the political change and everything, I think regardless, like with, you know, the change of presidents and stuff like that, there's still going to be an adjustment period. I would say that even if our government or even if our society did the right things today, if we said, hey, this is how we're going to operate from now on, there's still going to be an adjustment period. There's still going to be like a pain, you know. Everybody right now, look, you got to go without the things you're used to. It's a famine. You got to notch add 1 or 2 notches to the end of your belt, because you're going to be tightening your belt. All right. I've been eating way less the last like 2 months than I've ever eaten, and it's fine. You know, I don't mind losing a little weight, but that's the sacrifices that I'm making. You know, eat less, buy less. Again, just wear like black shirts, anything that's cheap. My goal is survival. I'm gonna survive. I think you guys are gonna survive too. But seriously, build up that network, build up those skills, and just keep pushing forward, guys. I know it's tough. We're all experiencing it. Listen, I want to hear about your guys' struggles, especially Gen X. I'm curious what your experience was like graduating college, and what hurdles you had to face. And again, guys, what's the path forwards? Like, what does the future look like for us and for the economy? So, all right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.